Hey Star Wars fans, welcome back. Did you know that REVA from the Obi Wan Kenobi series was originally supposed to die? This is an exclusive from Nathan Johnson at The Direct, and it's with the original Obi Wan Kenobi trilogy writer Stuart Beattie. REVA wasn't just going to die, she was going to sacrifice herself for Obi-Wan by telling Darth Vader that she had killed him. Why would she do this? Well, Obi-Wan was going to reveal to REVA that Darth Vader is actually Anakin Skywalker, the same person who attacked her friends and left her for dead. So in Stuart Beattie's version, REVA did not know that Vader was Anakin until Obi-Wan tells her. This causes her to change course, to rethink her actions, and to decide to sacrifice herself for Obi-Wan. REVA informs Lord Vader that she's killed Obi-Wan, which enrages Vader because he wanted Kenobi for himself. So in his rage, he kills REVA. REVA's sacrifice takes Obi-Wan off of Vader's radar. So I want to talk to you guys about this. I mean, this is kind of a crazy reveal here. You know, originally she was supposed to die in the movie, in the trilogy thing that Stuart had kind of created for Disney. It's interesting, during the season we were asking the question, is REVA gonna make it? We know Luke makes it, we know Leia's good, you can't touch Vader, Obi-Wan. REVA really was sort of that question mark. Was she going to die? Was she going to turn back to the light side, etc.? So I guess to kind of show her conflict in the series was interesting. She knew that it was Anakin Skywalker in the Kenobi series, but in the movie that was going to be different. And I actually know that's been kind of a gripe. It's one of those things I've heard other Star Wars content creators kind of say, hey, not very many people knew, next to no one knew that Anakin Skywalker was alive and that he was Vader. Right? We know that Obi-Wan actually does sort of see Palpatine calling Anakin Lord Vader, tells him to rise. So it's just sort of a fascinating idea. Let's read some of the stuff, though, that I want to read a little bit from this article where Beattie kind of talks about the creation of REVA. So she was my creation. I created REVA all the way through, except the only little difference in mine was she didn't know Darth Vader was Anakin. Because I was like, how'd she know that? All she saw was Anakin as Anakin because he hadn't changed to the suit yet. So Anakin killed her friends, put the scar on her, almost killed her, left her for dead, basically. So in her mind, the Jedi Council were the biggest villains in the galaxy. She believed the lies, that they were plotting a coup to overtake the government and to get power, but they were stopped by the clones. So she believes that's why she's hunting Jedi, because she believed the Jedi are the worst, basically. He kind of goes on to talk about REVA's original fate in the story. He says, I figured, how would she know that this thing in the mechanical suit that everyone calls Darth Vader is the guy who killed her or tried to kill her? So it was actually Obi-Wan who kind of let her in on that secret, and that revelation makes her go, oh my God, I've been wrong this whole time. So she basically goes and saves Obi-Wan by sacrificing herself, telling Vader, I killed Obi-Wan, and then Vader killed her, with her knowing that Vader would kill her. So that kind of completed her arc. So just a little bit different, that she was absolutely the Inquisitor, hunting Kenobi all the way through, driven by her own personal demons. So the idea there is that, we kind of ask the question at the start of this, why Kenobi? Why is she so intrigued or obsessed with finding Kenobi? And we learn in episode 5, it's all kind of, dropped there, that it's Obi-Wan is Anakin's master. And if she could bring him in, she would get maybe an audience with Lord Vader and attack Lord Vader, because in the series, she knows that Anakin is Darth Vader. So she wants revenge, right, on Darth Vader. Whereas in the trilogy, the opposite is the case. She doesn't know about Vader at all, and loyally kind of serves him, does his bidding, and wants to actually just destroy Kenobi. So kind of a total switch there. But Beattie goes on to say that he felt she had to die. Yeah, killed by Vader at the end. I wanted this story, I wanted her story to end. I wanted REVA to play her part in the Kenobi Vader story, which was essentially at the end, she was the one that allowed Vader, or basically told Vader, to stop hunting Kenobi. So the way that differs, right, is that Palpatine realizes Vader is obsessed with this and pursuing Kenobi too much, maybe getting a little jelly, right? But he basically kind of brings Vader back in and says that, he has plans, right? He refocuses Vader and will kind of pull him off of Obi-Wan. So I don't know. What do you guys like better? Do you like the idea that REVA knew who Anakin was and that he was Darth Vader, and then she's just been trying to get close to him this whole time, get a private audience where she could maybe assassinate him, take her revenge? Or do you like this idea that we originally had, and that could have gone through revision or whatever, but it sounds like Stuart Beattie was pretty set on his idea that REVA was going to pursue Obi-Wan until Obi-Wan reveals that, hey, we all were betrayed, right? The Jedi were betrayed by Anakin. We were betrayed by Chancellor Palpatine, who's actually Darth Sidious, and so on, right? I mean, that revelation would have been there, explaining why the Jedi, why Order 66 happens, and why her friends were killed, and why she was attacked there in the Jedi Temple. So, I don't know, just kind of a lot to think about. He kind of goes on to say that, of course, there are so many great characters during the Purge, during the Great Purge of the Temple and everything. It was like, okay, let's see what she was doing at the Purge. What if she saw everything that went down? What if Anakin/Vader killed, air quote, killed her, left her for dead, and set her on this path? So all this kind of stuff would create like a sense of conflict, some confusion that blinded the character, filled her with hate and rage, and all that stuff. That makes people Sith or Sith acolytes and so on. So there you go. I mean, that's sort of his premise, his setup. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is cooler? Do you like the way that it was done? It's just different. It's interesting to hear that this thing was going to be a trilogy, that Obi-Wan had various arcs, right, where he wanted to connect, surrender to the Force, leave the boy. The next season is supposed to be more movie in Stuart Beattie's mind was going to be a second movie where in which Obi-Wan would deal with his own mortality, right, and understanding, becoming one with the Force and exploring the Force in kind of a greater way, getting ready for a moment that we know is coming in episode 4 where he will sacrifice himself for Luke and for the greater good. So anyways, so what do you guys think? Would this have been cooler, or do you like how it was done in the Kenobi series? Be sure to follow for more Star Wars content, like, subscribe, and as always, may the Force be with you.